Welcome class for this another session. So for this session, I'm going to discuss problem one. If you remember, I already done with problem one. So I answered it based on the requirement. So I'm going to share my screen first. So here is problem one. So as you can see from this screen, the requirement here is that this is for variable costing. So meaning the regular variable costing and absorption costing. And this problem is for you to know how to identify the unit product cost and how to prepare income statement both for variable costing and absorption costing. But to discuss further the super variable costing or the throughput costing, I'm going to use this problem. But instead of the regular variable costing, so I will assume that the requirement of the problem is this is a super variable costing method. So instead of variable costing, this will be super variable. Ayan. Okay, so let's read the problem. So ABC manufactures and sells one product. The following information pertains to each of the company's first 3 year of operation. So we have the variable cost. So we have direct materials, direct labor, and variable manufacturing overhead. Also variable selling and admin expense. We also have manufacturing overhead and fixed selling and admin expenses for 960 and 240,000. And take note, during its first year of operations, ABC produced 60,000 units and also sold the same amount or the same number of inventory, that's 60,000 units. And during its second year of operations, it produced 75,000 units and sold 50,000 units. In its third year, ABC produced 40,000 units and sold 65,000 units, and the selling price of the company's product is $58 per unit. So compute the company's break-even point. So this is on hold because this will be discussed after the variable costing. And for number two, the company uses, instead of regular variable costing, this is super variable costing or the throughput costing. Compute the unit product cost for year one, year two, and year three. So this is super variable costing, and therefore only direct materials will be recognized as product cost. Yan. So the rest are all period costs. So from direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, fixed manufacturing, and fixed selling and admin expense, all of them will be recognized as period costs. So our answer for number two is direct materials, which is $20 per unit for year one, year two, and year three. And number three, so assume the company uses super, so this is super variable costing. Prepare income statement for year one, year two, and year three. So I will transfer to note, so OneNote for Windows. And we're going to answer problem one. But this is super variable costing. Ayan, variable costing or the throughput costing system. So for year one, so this is year one. So we're going to start with sales. That is 60,000 units. The units sold multiplied by the selling price. And the selling price is 58. So multiply by 58. And the total is 3,480,000. 3,000,000 480,000. Then we need to deduct the variable cost of goods sold or the variable product cost, and this is the direct materials. that is the unit sold multiplied by 20 because the product cost is 20. Yan. So, and that is the direct material cost. So this is 120,000. 1 million. So this is 1,200,000. Tama ba? Yan. So after deducting the variable cost of goods sold, so we will arrive at the contribution margin. Sorry, this is not contribution. This is product margin. So that is 3,480,000 minus 1,200,000. So this is 2,280,000. Yan. Then we're going to deduct all other variable costs, which is comprised direct labor, the variable manufacturing overhead, and the variable selling and admin expense. So for direct labor, so remember before, for the total direct labor costs, uh, in regular variable costing and and absorption costing, that will the total direct labor cost will be computed using the product cost also. So that is 60,000 units multiplied by the cost, which is 12. So that is 60,000 times 12. So that is 720,000. So the same total direct labor cost. However, instead of being part of the cost of goods sold, so direct labor cost will be recognized as period cost. So aside from direct labor, we have variable manufacturing overhead, and this is 60,000 multiplied by 4. Actually, if we add direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead, that is the variable conversion cost. So this is the variable conversion cost. Because conversion cost includes direct labor and factory overhead. And factory overhead comprised of variable and fixed overhead. So that is 60,000 times 4. So that is 240,000. Yan. And also we have, don't forget, the variable selling and admin expense. This is period costs originally, whether you prepare income statement for regular variable costing or absorption costing, variable selling and admin are or is period cost. So therefore, instead of units produced of 60,000, we're going to multiply the variable cost per unit, which is $2 to the unit sold, 60. So that is 60,000 times 2. So this is 120,000. So after deducting all other variable costs, we'll arrive at the contribution margin or your CM, and that is 2,280,000 minus 720,000 minus 240,000 minus 120,000, and that is 1,200,000. Yan. So after computing for the uh, contribution margin, we need to deduct the fixed overhead. So we have the fixed manufacturing overhead, and that will total to 960. So minus 960,000. And also the fixed selling and admin expense, and that is 240,000. Yeah. And the total or the net amount will be the operating income or the income from operation. This is also our EBIT or earnings before interest and taxes. That is 960,000 minus 240. So that is zero. Ayan. Now, if you remember, the variable, the absorption costing net income is equal to zero. Our variable costing net income is also equal to zero. And this time, our super variable costing is also equal to zero. And the reason for this is because we don't have ending inventory for year one. Our production or units produced is 60,000 units, and our units sold is also 60,000 units. So therefore, no ending inventory for year one. So we're done with year one. For year two, the units produced is 75,000 units and the units sold is 50,000 units. So therefore, we will have ending inventory amounting to 25,000 units. So let's prepare the income statement for year two. So this is the income statement for year two. Take note, this is also super variable costing. So income statement. So we're going to start with sales. And this is the units sold, that is 50,000 units. This one, so 50,000 units multiplied by the selling price. And the selling price is 58. Yan. So 50,000 times 58. So this is 2,900,000. Then we have the variable cost of goods sold or the direct materials, and that is 50,000 units also multiplied by 20 because the direct materials is $20. So that is 50,000 times 20. So that is 1 million. So minus 1 million. Yan. And this is our product margin. So we'll just abbreviate. So this is 1,900,000. Yan. Then we need to deduct the direct labor costs. So just like in, sorry, this is direct labor. So just like in year one, so this is the units produced. So 75,000 units multiply by the direct labor cost, and that is 12. So 75,000 units times 12, that is 900,000. So minus 900,000. Then we have the variable manufacturing overhead, and this is 75,000 units multiplied by 4. 75,000 multiplied by 4, and that is 300,000. So this is 300,000. Yan. 300,000. And also, don't forget the variable selling and admin expense. But the variable selling and admin expense is based on the units sold, and that is 50,000 units multiplied by 2, and that is 100,000. So this is our contribution margin. And the contribution margin is 1,900,000 minus 900,000 minus 300,000 minus 100,000. And this is 600,000. Yan, 600,000. Then we need to deduct the fixed manufacturing overhead. And the fixed manufacturing overhead is 960,000. And the fixed selling and admin expense is 240,000. Yan. So this is our operating income or EBIT. and that is minus 960,000 minus 240,000. So this is negative 600,000. Now, if you remember for year 2, the operating income, tama. For year 2, the absorption costing operating income or net income is equal to 120,000, and our variable costing net income is equal to negative 200,000, and this time our super variable costing net income is equal to negative 600,000. So let's try to reconcile from variable costing net income to super variable costing net income, and also from variable costing net income to super variable costing net income. Because we're done from the previous discussion, the reconciliation from absorption costing to regular variable costing net income. So let's start. So we're going to reconcile the absorption costing net income, and this is equal to 120,000. If there are beginning inventory, so remember the reconciling item for absorption costing net income and variable costing net income are only the fixed manufacturing overhead. And why is that? Because under the absorption costing net income, the product cost includes the fixed manufacturing overhead. But in the variable costing net income, the product cost is only includes the variable cost. So the reconciling item between absorption costing and the variable costing is the fixed manufacturing overhead. But this time, since we are reconciling absorption costing to super variable costing net income, and remember, for super variable costing net income, the only product cost recognized is direct materials. So therefore, the reconciling item or cost for absorption costing to super variable costing is what? The direct labor, the variable manufacturing overhead, and the fixed manufacturing overhead. So meaning the conversion cost uh, multiplied by the units in beginning inventory or ending inventory. Luckily, for year 2, there is no beginning inventory. So this is 0. If you remember, for absorption costing to variable costing, we add the beginning inventory and deduct the ending inventory. So this is 0. This is 0. And the direct labor is 12. The variable manufacturing overhead is 4. And the fixed manufacturing overhead will be computed as 960,000 divided by the 75,000 units produced. So that is 960,000 divided by 75,000. That is 12.8. So therefore, the total reconciling item is 12 plus 4 plus 12.8. So meaning that is plus 12 plus 4, that is 28.8. Ano ba? 28.8. So multiply this to the ending inventory, and our ending inventory is 25,000. So that is 75,000 units minus 50,000 units. So that is 25,000. So this is the amount of our ending inventory. 28.8 times 25,000, that is 720,000. So from absorption costing, so super variable costing, this 720,000 should be deducted because the inventory of absorption costing is overstated as compared to super variable costing. Because in super variable costing, we only includes the direct material as product cost, while for absorption costing, we also includes direct labor, variable manufacturing, and fixed manufacturing overhead. So therefore, the super variable costing net income is equals to negative 600,000. That is 120,000 minus 720,000, which is what we have computed in the income statement. So this one. Yeah. How about reconciliation from the regular variable costing, which is 200,000. So this is negative 200,000. So we also have beginning inventory and ending inventory to super variable costing net income. So remember, the variable costing inventory, whether that is beginning or ending inventory, are all overstated, just like the absorption costing. So therefore, if we're going to start with regular variable costing to super variable costing, we need to add the beginning inventory cost, but only includes the reconciling item. And we need to deduct the ending inventory cost, but only the reconciling item. But what is the reconciling item? Reconciling item for variable costing to super variable costing. Remember, for variable costing, it includes direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead in its product cost. But for super variable, it only includes direct material costs. Uh, it does not recognize direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead as part of its product cost. So therefore, our reconciling item will be what is not included under the super variable costing, and that is direct labor and the variable manufacturing overhead. And this is $12 and $4. So the total is $16. Again, so we need to multiply this by the units in ending inventory. So that is 25,000. So 16 times 25,000, and that is 400,000. So this is the amount of ending inventory. But do not include direct materials because direct materials is not a reconciling item. So this is zero. There is no beginning inventory. For ending inventory, that's 400,000. So we need to deduct this 400,000. So minus 400,000. So therefore, the super variable costing net income is negative 600,000. Yeah. And this is what we have computed. Ayan. Ayan. So in our income statement, the super variable costing net income is negative 600,000. So that is how you reconcile the income statement from other method to super variable costing net income. You need to identify what are the items that are not recognized as product cost for super variable costing net income, but recognized as product cost in absorption costing and also at the regular variable costing net income. So let's uh, discuss the last year. So let's prepare the income statement for year 3. So this is year 3. And after this one, we're done. Later, we're going to discuss the CVP and break-even point. So for year 3, we're going to start with sales again. And the sales is the units sold. That is 65,000 units. So 65,000 units multiplied by the selling price, and that is 58. So 65,000 times 58. That is 3,770,000. Then we have the variable cost of goods sold, and that is 65,000 units multiplied by 20, or the direct material cost. That is 1,300,000. And this is our product margin. That is 3,770,000 minus 1,300,000. That is 2,470,000. We need to deduct the direct labor costs, and that is the units produced. To make it the same with absorption costing and variable costing, we have prepared in our previous discussion. So that is 40,000 units multiplied by 12. So 40,000 times 12. So that is 480,000. And also the variable manufacturing overhead. And that is 40,000 units also multiplied by 4. Is that correct? Yes. 4. 40,000 times 4. That is 160,000. And don't forget to deduct the variable selling and admin. But the variable selling and admin is based on the units sold. So that is 65,000 times 2. So this is 65,000 units times 2. 65,000 units times 2. And that is 130,000. So we will arrive at the contribution margin, and that is 2,470,000 minus 480,000 minus 160,000 minus 130,000. So that is 1,700,000. Next, we need to deduct the fixed manufacturing overhead. This is 960. So this is 960,000. And also the fixed selling and admin expense. And this is 240,000. So this is our operating income, or EBIT. And that is 17 minus 960,000 minus 240,000. And that is 500,000 for year 3. So let's reconcile the absorption costing net income, the regular variable costing net income, and the super variable costing net income. So for the super variable costing income, so this is 500,000. Variable costing is 100. So please refer to the previous video for this one. And for, sorry, for, okay. Sorry for that one. For absorption costing, that is negative 220,000. So let's start. So from absorption costing net income, so this is negative 220,000 to super variable costing net income. Beginning inventory, we have the ending inventory from the previous reconciliation. That is 720,000. But this time, that will be our reconciling item for beginning inventory. And remember, we need to add the beginning inventory and deduct the ending inventory if that is from absorption costing to super variable. But if your computation is from super variable costing to absorption costing, we need to change the sign. So meaning add the ending inventory minus the beginning inventory, so that we will arrive at the absorption costing net income. So for this problem, the 720,000 should be added. And remember, we don't have ending inventory for year 3. So therefore, the super variable costing net income will be 500,000. That is negative 220 plus 720,000 minus 0 is 500,000. So we are good for this one. And next, from the regular variable costing net income to super variable costing net income. So this is 100,000. This is beginning inventory, ending inventory. Then this is the super variable costing net income. So just like the absorption, we need to add the beginning inventory and deduct the ending inventory to arrive at the super variable costing net income. Question, what is the reconciling item? Of course, the direct labor and the variable manufacturing overhead multiplied by the ending inventory, and that is 400,000. So the same. So the 400,000 recognized as reconciling item in year 2 will be the amount of reconciling item for beginning inventory in year 3. So this is 400,000. Take note, this should be added minus ending inventory, and there is no ending inventory. So therefore, the super variable costing net income is equal to uh, 500,000, which is what we have computed in our income statement. So that's it for the super variable costing net income and for problem 1. So in problem 1, we solved problem 1 using super variable costing net income instead of the regular variable costing net income and absorption costing net income. So what you should realize is that the only reconciling item will be the account that not become part of product cost, but become part of product cost from take one method to another method. So from absorption costing to variable costing, and from absorption to super variable costing net income, and vice versa. Uh, in case you have question, please let me know. So our next topic will be the CBP and break-even point analysis. Thank you and God bless. Goodbye.